Hey students, happy Tuesday. I hope that you got to get outside yesterday and enjoy the absolutely beautiful weather. I know I did. So today we are going to be reviewing a strategy that we learned last week. Um, Mr. Michael, Miss Hanson, and Miss Caustic's classes are all doing this, but they will additionally be watching the next part of the crossover. We will not because I got excited last week, as I do, and accidentally played part 7 for you too far in advance. So you guys have already seen part 7 of the crossover, and the rest of 7th grade English classes have not. So they're going to be watching that today so that we're all caught up. So don't spoil anything for other classmates from different teachers. Okay, so the reading strategy we are going to be reviewing is this interactions can lead to inferences reading strategy. Because moving forward this week, we are going to be focusing more on how characters impact each other. So we previously kind of were looking at character changes, and now we're looking at how characters impact each other because that happens all the time. Okay, so if you remember, this strategy asks you to look at two different characters and then to think about how, for one character, their interaction happened from their perspective. Then to flip your perspective and think about what the interaction was like for the other character. Okay, this is super helpful in making deep inferences and really making yourself empathize with both characters. So since we're not reading the crossover today, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you how I would do this or use this strategy rather with the short story All Summer in a Day. So ELA 7 students, All Summer in a Day, you guys read a few months ago in class. Advanced ELA students, you were given the choice to read All Summer in a Day as one of your options for the formative assessment last week. In case you haven't read All Summer in a Day, or if you don't remember much, it is a short story. It's a dystopian short story. They are on a different planet, and the children have never seen the sun because it's only summer. I believe is it once every 7 years. Um, and one of the students in the class, basically, she came from Earth, so she's the only student who's seen the sun because they're all basically young enough where they have never seen sunshine yet in their lifetime. So the events in the story basically, and I'm summarizing it a lot, go that these classmates of Margot, who is the child who lived on Earth, they get really jealous and they, kind of turn on her because she's different and they lock her in a closet and she misses the entire summer and won't get to experience it for another 7 years. Um, just as a refresher. If you didn't get a chance to read it, it really is a good short story. So I am going to try looking at this from different perspectives. I'm going to use some of these guiding questions here in order to answer this. We'll make my writing red so we can see it. So how is blank treating blank? How are the kids treating Margot? So the other students in the class are treating Margot differently because she is from Earth. Okay? I guess you could look at it the other way as well, and you could flip it, and you could also say Margot is, maybe from the other student's perspective, Margot is treating the other students like she knows more than them. okay, which I mean she kind of does. um, let's move on to, we'll skip the relationship question. Explain how one character is causing the other character to react or feel. Well, definitely the other kids in the class are causing Margot to feel extremely depressed. I would say hopeless, because can you imagine if something was taken away from you, your opportunity for something like sunshine at once every 7 years? And I think she's probably feeling pretty alone. Okay. Let's also say that maybe Margot is causing the other kids in the class to react by lashing out at her because she is different. So see how we are looking at both perspectives, okay? Let's now just this last one. What might these characters' interactions mean? So I think these interactions definitely show, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. These interactions definitely show us the role of guilt, because in the end of this story, you know, the other students, you get the sense that they definitely feel guilty about what they have done to Margot. Okay, so this shows us the role of guilt and how much we can affect other people. You know, those students probably didn't think it would have that big of an impact on her, but it did. Okay, so I think that this inference here of, you know, those interactions show us the role of guilt, and you know, guilt might not always be a bad thing, because it can help us to reflect on how much our actions have affected other people. This here is a quality inference, and in fact, I think this might even point to a really a good theme for the story if you had to determine a theme for the story. So you guys have this graphic organizer still from last week. I will attach it again to this week's activity. For your assignment today, the instructions will be posted, but after you do your 20 to 30 minutes of independent reading, I want you guys to just try this strategy on an interaction that happened today in your independent reading books that you were able to make an inference from. And look on this document here if you are stuck, okay? If you uh, need an example, or if you need to use these prompts, okay? I was stuck thinking about how I was going to teach you this today based on this story, and going through these questions actually really helped me. You can also use this bottom part here, this graphic organizer section, and think about it that way, okay? Hang in there. I hope everybody's doing all right. I miss you guys a ton, and tomorrow we'll continue reading the crossover.